Why do people try to minister in their own strength? Overconfidence. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. You remember on the night that Jesus was betrayed, he turned to Simon Peter and he said, Simon, this night all the disciples are going to forsake me and flee. He said, not I, Lord, I'll never forsake you and flee. And Jesus looked him in the eye and said, Peter, tonight you're going to deny me. He said, never, Lord. No matter what, even if I have to die for you, I would never deny you. Jesus said, Peter, listen to me. Before the cock crow 3 times, you're going to deny me. And finally, Peter just was so hurt and said, no, it will never happen. What was that? Overconfidence. He was depending upon his own strength, his own courage. How different it might have been if he had fallen to his knees and said, Lord Jesus, what do you know about me that I don't know about myself? Lord Jesus, if I don't have the strength to stand with you in my own, help me, Lord. But he didn't. You remember that Jesus took with him into Gethsemane Peter, James, and John, and he said to them, watch and pray. Do you know what overconfidence leads to? Prayerlessness. Because when you're confident in your own strength, why pray? I don't need God's help. I can handle this. And no matter what excuses you make, can I say this to you as your pastor? If you don't pray, you are saying, I can do this without God's help. I don't need God. Overconfidence leads to prayerlessness. But on the flip side of that, boy, I like this part of it. Every time you pray, that's a declaration of your confidence in God, of your dependency on God. It's your way. Whatever the words you're praying are, it's your way of saying, God, I can't do this without me. You are my only hope. So overconfidence leads to prayerlessness. Oh, what does prayerlessness lead to? Misguided zeal. What did Peter do? As soon as he saw them coming for Jesus, he took out his sword and cut off the high priest's ear. Misguided zeal. He was still ministering in his own strength, still overconfident, still trusting himself, still not depending upon God. How does God respond to misguided zeal? He always rebukes you. He said to Peter, put up your sword. He who lives by the sword will die by the sword. Put it up. Peter was soundly rebuked. Jesus healed the man's wound. And because Peter had been rebuked, his misguided zeal came to naught. He became disillusioned. And when they led Jesus away as a prisoner, it said, and Peter followed at a distance. The misguided zeal brings disillusionment, and disillusionment brings distancing in your relationship with God. And then the next time you see Peter, he's sitting down with the enemies of Christ. And then you hear him denying the Lord. And then you hear the rooster crow. And Peter goes out into the night and weeps bitterly. Overconfidence always ends in denial and bitter tears.